everyone, and welcome back to Sonya's Prep. In this week's video, I wanted to take you along on how I prepare for Shabbat in the winter months after daylight savings time. Shabbat starts at around 4:15 or 4:30 now here in New York where I live, which leaves me a little bit of time to get everything ready right after I get back from work. So in order to do that, I do most of my preparations on Thursdays, and that gives me virtually no wiggle room. So I wanted to show you some of my tips and tricks that I incorporate on Thursdays to get me through so that I could just, be on top of things and be able to make as much as I possibly can. This is going to be a more of a condensed Shabbat for us. We're not hosting that many people. So I wanted to show you different recipes and techniques. So come and join me and I'll show you how I get everything done. No matter what though, I always try to make my sourdoughs because I love them. They came out so pretty, and I love the new designs. I love playing around and cutting them different ways, and they are just so pretty. I found these cute little bags on Amazon where I could store them. If you've ever had sourdough bread, their trademark is this crispy outer layer, and if you put them into plastic bags, they really become mushy. So I'm so happy that I found these paper bags. I'm using them for the very first time. I hope I like it. So that's what I just wanted to show you. I do still do my sourdough bread. I start doing them on Wednesday so that when I come home from work on Thursday, they are all ready for me to bake with. So the way that I start on Thursday nights is I get all of my baking trays out. I like to line them with some parchment paper because it just makes cleaning up so much more easier. And then I do one thing at a time. So I'm going to take the chicken here, cut it in half, place it into the tray, and I'll just take you along and show you how I'm going to get everything done. I just got these kitchen shears to help me crack the bones in the chicken. I usually always struggle with a knife, but this time I figured let me just try it with the chicken, and I was actually very impressed with how they work. If I find them, I will have them linked for you in the description box below. So I divided my chicken in half, and I placed both halves onto the tray. You can do this recipe with just chicken thighs or simply with just chicken legs. And I do the easiest thing in the world. I take some Italian dressing and I place it right over the top. I put a generous amount, and I know it may sound weird, but guys, this is so delicious. It tenderizes the chicken and gives it so much flavor. You can also add in any other seasonings that you like. I'll be adding in some paprika. I place it into a 400-degree oven, uncovered for about 1 to 2 hours until it has a nice crispy exterior. Another thing that I find is super quick to make is to throw a brisket into the oven. I'm going to be using some buffalo wing sauce from Dougie's, placing that all over the brisket. For the seasoning, I add in some steak seasoning and onion soup mix, but you can totally just put some barbecue sauce over the top if you're running short on time, and pop it into the oven. When Shabbat comes in early, like it is coming in these past few weeks, I love to make dinners that require very little work, like you're seeing in the chicken and in this brisket. Very minimal ingredients that can make putting everything together much more quicker. So I added in a little bit of water into the pan, covered it really well with foil, and I'm popping it into a 400-degree oven for about 3 hours, and I'll check on it and see if it needs to be cooked longer. For the fish dishes for Shabbat, I'm going to be making them in 2 ways. The first one is going to be with sesame teriyaki sauce, and the other one is going to be with some fish seasoning. I'll just be spraying some oil over the top of the fish seasoning one, and that is it. Very simple, very quick, just how I like it. It looks gorgeous already and it's not even cooked. I'm gonna be telling my husband to kindly put it into the oven while I'm at work. He does arrive home a little bit earlier than I do on Friday, so it's something that he can do easily. And now I'm going to be doing some basmati rice. It's 2 cups of rice, 2.5 cups of water, a little bit of salt, and I mix everything up. As I'm about to place it into the oven, I remembered I forgot the oil. I dropped in a little bit of oil, I would say about a tablespoon or 2. It helps with the rice not stick to one another while they're cooking. Give that a good mix, cover it up with some foil, and place it into the oven at 400 degrees for about 40 minutes, and it comes out perfect and fluffy. For another side dish, I have some baby potatoes here that I'm going to be slicing in half. I have already washed them and cleaned them previously, and I'm going to be seasoning everything with some oil, salt, and black pepper. I also like to use some onion soup mix. It provides tons of flavor. I'm going to mix everything really well, put the cut side down, and bake it in the oven as well. So as you can probably see, my goal is to make everything in one shot and bake everything in one shot on Thursday nights, so that it gives me a lot more freedom Friday. I'm not rushing, I'm not cooking anything on Friday after work because I virtually have no time because I get home so late. So that's what I basically do to get myself ahead of the game for Shabbat, so that we have some yummy foods to eat even though we are really crunched on time. Here's the basmati rice that is perfectly ready and nice and fluffy. After about 2 hours, the chicken is fully ready as well. Now I'm getting home Friday after work. I check into my oven. My husband made that noodle kugel, and I have the brisket there cooking. And everything that I made previously, I took out. My husband reheated it, and this is all of the food that we are having for Friday night. And I have some smoked fish as a side. I also asked my husband to buy us a bunch of salads. For those of you who follow me, you know that I make all of my salads from scratch every Shabbat, but there are times where you just have to know what you can and cannot accomplish, and you also need to know where to find the best foods. This is all from Geffen, locally in our store, and that is what we're having for this Shabbat. So I just got back home from work. It is about 3:45 now, and I'm just gonna quickly be time crunching everything, heating everything up again, placing them onto the table, setting everything up nicely. As you can hear, it is very, very busy in the house now. Everyone's getting ready. So I wanted to just say Shabbat Shalom from my family to yours, and I'll see you in my next upload.